It's shocking how much media that Robocop has. He even has Marvel Comics. He's basically a super cop that has a lot of ways to attack you, honestly. Whether it be his guns or just his brute punching power or physical strength. Walking armory, including pistols, flamethrowers, all that stuff I'm getting to in a couple seconds. Enhance the reflexes or senses, great accuracy, superhuman fighting speed, even can shank you if he wants to. Did you know that Robocop is a savage? Even if you're a woman, he don't mind backhanding you. RoboCop is a character that had pretty decent movies, ended up getting some comic books, and even an animated series that was based off the original movie, but had some differences to fit kid-friendly audiences, like replacing guns with lasers and stuff, of how strong this one is. Here and there, I'm going to show pieces of animated series and little pieces of the comic book stuff just for the heck of it. Like, why not? Marvel even had their own comics on them. Heck, in his TV show, he had decked out cars. Funny, right? Even though he has comics, he also even got a reboot. So he has quite a bit of media out there for RoboCop. Can you imagine doing your job like a normal cop and then tragedy strikes to where you got to get rebuilt because of your body being so mangled? But when you got rebuilt, you became technically better than ever. A super cop, basically. One could say he's a cyborg too, but this is the case in a RoboCop. But how strong is he? Now that he's a super cop, he has his perks like a leg that can store his gun, also having super strength. I guess one can say Alex Murphy has training by default since he is a police officer or was a police officer before you even became the super cop. He has certain amount of different specs like a backup computer right here, artificial skull, motion access computer, micro binocular focus system. Here's a mapping of how his armor is made up. RoboCop has 4 prime directives must obey, like serving the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law, never oppose an officer. If he did, it will result in his shutdown, but this was removed in the 3rd film, deleted. He has thermal vision that can help him see through walls to get the drop on his opponent, can record and play back video footage. He has this long strip plugin that allows him to plug into computers or something, like on some hacking cyborg from DC Comics type stuff to get into the database like that. And he literally cannot shoot children. That makes sense. And yeah, he does have an artificial heart, by the way. For example, he's strong enough to bend a gun barrel, break a chain like that. In the narrative, you get an idea of how his grip is. Vice grip. It's 400 foot-pounds. He could crush every bone in your... Other mechanical beings he has to face up against, he continually overpowers them in power and rip their arm off. There was a point where they was trying to replace Robocop. The other Robocop can do this. In this case, you can literally see them clashing strength, like this kind of contest of strength or pushing, pulling, tug of war type of thing. You can see him literally overpowering it like that. Can straight on punch through walls just like this. Yeah. Honestly don't know why regular humans even try, like they go flying that far across the store. This large locked door breaks down with a few punches. You see his strength like that. Since we already know that RoboCop matched Robocane in one of the RoboCop movies in strength, he should have similar strength to this thing, which is strong enough to flip an APC, which can weigh 7 tons. I would say they should be able to at least lift 10 tons because this was easy. Yeah, so he can lift at least 7+ tons, which is 14,000 pounds. RoboCop has taken laser blasts before. RoboCop can push this van through solid brick. Then it gets exploded in his face. He's stopped with his raw strength and reversed this hydraulic press. Hydraulic pressure was like this, and he was able to stop and reverse it. When it comes to the remake, aka a different version of RoboCop, it's obvious that he's still super freaking strong. I wouldn't say as over the top as the OG though. This robot still gets his head ripped off. Tree branches ain't nothing to me. Comic one even has cool vehicles like this. Robot dinosaurs get overpowered. In this comic version, these robo-dinosaurs, look at the size difference between him and the dinosaurs, and this is the type of stuff he has to battle with in strength, but this did drain him in this particular occasion, though, of energy, so it was kind of pushing him to the limit. Comic strength, breaking through walls, stupid robot TV face thing get punched, strong enough to stop a speeding car on the spot. Standard strength stuff. Ridiculous displays of strength like being tied to this or chained to that. He's literally strong enough to literally pull all of this, lift up big things like this, fighting another cybernetic being, robotic being, causes all that. Or one can say even pull helicopters down. He's extra doable like this guy tried to kick Robocop, hurting himself. Several steel girders fall on him, but he survives all of this. This dude got straight up hit by an armored truck like that. Proceeds to smashing him through buildings like this. All that damage he's enduring. And grind him against a brick wall. Literally a 100-story fall during this fight with another robotic type being. Yeah, through all of that mess. No, that's not an exaggeration. It was literally a 100-story fall. And he's okay. Okay. He is completely bulletproof. Don't even waste your freaking time. You should know better. Whether it be pistols, assault rifles, none of it's going to work. So you might as well just not even try. Just give up. Doesn't matter how many of y'all are shooting at him. It's just easy work for him. Even bots that are made to necessarily be on his level, he's still bulletproof to their blast. They say he's even too tough for a jackhammer drill when they tried to drill through him in this occasion. His joints are apparently the weak spots though. Joints as in areas like this so they can disconnect his body limbs and things like that are his weak points. He has some heat resistance, like being set on fire. Seems like he's just chilling on fire. Yeah. They was like, oh no. During this battle with another robotic being, gas explosions this big, he's right there next to it. That causes all that area of effect. And he's okay from all this BS. While he's in a car, got hit by a literal bazooka. Yeah, all that. Y'all thought that was gonna work? He can resist and remove a literal taser. Respectable. His armor can withstand up to 50 caliber or larger, can penetrate his armor though in the reboot. In the comic books, he seems to be able to lift up cars with ease as well. He can punch through walls. It's just common at this point. Same with doors. In the comics, he can hold up the weight of things that weigh over hundreds of tons. Big giant mechs like this. Give you another perspective on how big these mechs actually are versus cars and stuff. Like they're very big, like even taller than some smaller buildings. Robocop is still strong enough to do this to this giant mech regardless of it. Comic book one can punch your face off like that, or he's strong enough to do your heads like that. This comic Robocop is hardcore, no head. Despite the size difference with this machine, you get overpowered. Ever kicking doors down? The cartoon version of Robocop can get rammed through all that BS and then have all that fall on him, and he gets out of that. He just literally walks through the brick wall. Getting crushed by all this BS, he caves in the instruments like that. Since technology is one of those things that improves as time goes by, he's gotten different modifications or upgrades over the years to help him get stronger, more powerful. As he gets older. In the comic books, durability, he falls from a helicopter, making indentions in the ground after the fall, he's fine. That much and tons of bullets, it doesn't matter. Withstanding blasters from battle mechs or big explosions like this. In the Marvel comic version of Robocop, he slings these guys high in the air. And y'all don't want none of Robocop. Stupid mechs. Rip off this gate or just straight walk through them. And strength, he's even had to tangle with a robotic-sized gorilla, straight on punching it and everything. Marvel Comic one had to withstand pressures like this, 1,200 pounds per square inch and increasing, 1,360 increasing. Get off of me. His speed is crazy when it comes to the reflexes. This guy thought he was going to pull out a gun on him. He disarmed him instantly. Nope. In the comics, he's also reacted to rocket launcher mid-flight. This dude, Robocop, literally, thanks to his reflex, caught a bullet. Speed-wise, in the comic version, it's implied that he has fighting speed, like how his arms are moving like that. And the main thing that makes Robocop so dangerous is his arsenal of weaponry. Like, he even has a flight pack, serves as an extra way of maneuverability, like this. Also helps him have an extra auxiliary power. If he was ever to have a power drain, just interface with the flight pack. And it will recharge whether you fly or not. Upgrades as time goes by, baby. You guys know about the powerful handgun he has. Not to mention his ridiculous aim. It's the gun he always has and is literally storing his own leg. He has heavier weapons like the Cobra assault cannon to fight other Robocop tier being. The blast power is easily able to destroy cars and create small building-sized explosions. He can even swap out different arms completely and just literally detach it and literally put an actual gun on his arm instead of actually having a hand. It has 3 separate firing modes like submachine gun mode, flamethrower mode. When he was using flight tech, it has a missile mode that can blow up a freaking tank. Blast power. Yeah, pretty destructive. In the Frank Miller's run, he could, in the comics, replace his arm with guns like this. The comic one, especially the Marvel comic, Robocop seems to be more over the top when it comes to different weapons he has, like, or attached, or just can pop out of himself. Like, can just straight up light you up. Comic Robocop be having that blast power artillery. They be doing that to the mechs. The speed of which he can pull the trigger acts like a chainsaw, how he can cut doors down by just shooting it that fast. Not only can he shoot a gun out of your hand, but he can also keep it floating with continuous shots of accuracy. He targeted specific areas of the motorcycle to stop it from riding. Call him Deadshot from DC Comics with this crazy aim. Like this guy had a baby, he literally deflected off the wall to hit him in a certain way. Accurate enough to fire down the barrel of a gun. If you try to snipe him, it ain't going well. Right through your face. Intimidation tactic to shoot literally around your head, purposely not hitting him. Yeah. This guy can even shoot bullets out of the air What? The reboot version was able to react to a grenade launcher. Even though I'm showing different versions of Robocop in this video, they don't seem to be ridiculously drastic different in power, other than that comic book ones lifting over hundreds of tons scene. Even if there's machines that are pretty much stronger than him, he has other ways of getting the win by using his intelligence to find weak point, like taking out his primary cable, for example, in this particular model, so he can get the W that way. Strength-wise, big tanks like this, sure enough to rip off the top of it so he can get inside, thanks to his super strength. Stupid gates like this, he's strong enough to literally push gigantic, seems to be with some effort, this gigantic rock he can push with his strength to crush this big old bot they was dealing with. Yes, it is true I went over multiple different versions of Robocop, but they all seem very similar in a lot of ways. Regardless, respect them. But at the same time, I have no choice but to also give a shout out to those that took the time to donate to the channel. Helps out a lot. Respect Robocop.